been a little while since my last video, so here you guys go. I'm going to show you a bunch of animals eating, basically. So we're going to start out with basically what is my favorite kind of reptile, favorite kind of lizard, chameleons, and these guys are blue bar ambilibes. This is a male. You can see he loves Goliath worms. He basically threw himself off that branch to get this one. And these guys are just the coolest things. We only hashed out a few babies so far. Like, I don't even think we're in the double digits. We didn't get too many good eggs, but the babies are doing quite well. They're so small, it's unbelievable. You can see these chameleons, man, they could take pretty big meals. I remember filming this clip. It gets nasty right here. And I see all kinds of juice coming out of that Goliath. Believe it or not, that Goliath is only about 10 days old. But especially in the summer, like it is right now, you can get those Goliaths to grow really, really rapidly. In the right temperature, and if you're feeding them enough, and cleaning out their containers, keeping them well, you get Goliaths big like that in 10 days. No joke. So, here's the female, and you can see, even her. These chameleons, they love big prey insects. It's a shame that dubia roaches are actually banned where I live, or else I would probably feed them those too. But you could see they love their Goliaths. Our chameleons basically get fed, I would say, 50% Goliaths, 50% crickets. And the only reason we still feed crickets is just because cost-wise and time-wise, the Goliaths are a little bit more difficult to feed than crickets. Otherwise, we would probably feed Goliaths all the time. They're probably the best feeder insect that you could give just about any lizard. And because of their bright colors, they tend to really attract lizards. And they move a little bit more than a silkworm. But I've yet to see a lizard that refuses Goliath worms. And they come in a real nice array of sizes. Like when they're first born, they're super, super small. So they're basically lizards of just about any size could eat Goliath worms, especially since they're very soft-bodied, not like super worms. They don't have a really hard shell to them. So, and now we're about to get into the snake feeding. Now, this I'm going to have to try to talk pretty quick because the clips are quick. What you're about to see next is an albino African house snakes, and if you don't like house snakes, you're insane. Watch this feeding response. That is incredible. If you blinked, you probably missed that. And that's real time. House snakes are so enthusiastic when you're offering them food. And here is an albino Honduran milk. This is a male. I really, really like this species. Definitely underrated. So easy to keep. I've got to say, with all the snakes I've dealt with, I've almost never ever had any sort of problem with milk snakes. They all eat really well. They all shed really well. Just awesome. And here's some normal female African house snakes. Again, you're going to see that awesome feeding response. These guys, they'll throw every single last inch of their body around the prey item if they have to. So they're really cool. Here's another one. You see, her head was already out. As soon as I opened that lid, she was looking for food. And there you go. I even missed it. But these guys, man, they're always ready to eat. And they stay small. Perfect beginner snake in my opinion. Here's the rhino rat female. Since you guys have last saw her, you could see she's greening up. Gives that bite there. Bites there. I've noticed that these guys don't really tend to constrict. They just basically grab the rodent, bring it up into the trees, swallow it down. Here's a female Mojave that just laid 10 good eggs for us. We bred a pastel enchi to her. So we're hoping to hit on some pastel mochis. That's going to be freaking awesome. Especially with the amount of eggs we got. I think the odds are 1 in 8, so we should at least get 1. I'm hoping we get 2. I've even told my friend that I'm hoping we get 3. That I think we'll get 3. We'll see what happens though. And I kind of missed that strike. This is her first meal since she's laid. So I gave her something pretty small. Here's a butter that has a huge stripe on it. We produced this snake. This is a female. You can see she does not hesitate to take her rat. Here's another snake we produced, this female. This female is actually, believe it or not, younger than the butter you just saw. This is a pastel yellow belly female. And we got a super stripe and we got a spark, so we can't wait to get her to size. Hopefully one of those males will go for us. Granite Jag here, and I get so nervous when I feed this snake because it has those Jag neuro problems. If I'm not careful, she's going to bite me right in the face and she's going to constrict my head. A lot of stuff is about to happen in this next 14 seconds. This guy strikes, wraps, let's go. But does he want it or not? There you go, 4 bites in 14 seconds about. This is awesome. This clip is too sick. Check out this hognose female. She's huge, by the way, but you can't tell because she's underneath the aspen. I'm really happy with the way this clip came out. For those of you guys who don't know, hognose snakes are actually rear fang venomous, but they don't have very potent venom at all. I mean, you would have to really let one of these sit on you and chew on your hand for a good while before you actually got envenomated and your hand blew up. But if you guys just missed that, rewind this back, you'll actually see one of those rear fangs, I should say, moving to get that rat down her gullet. And here's this pastel possible new gene thing we got going on. We're not exactly sure what this is. We're hoping it proves to be something cool, but we think there's something else there besides pastel. Actually, I think this one is the other gene plus yellow belly too. Yeah, that's 2 things going on there. Chocolate ghost, female. Guys, chocolate is probably one of, I don't want to say favorite base morphs, because you know it's not that nice, but chocolate is really cool in my opinion, especially when you mix it into other things, and the super is to die for, as you guys are going to see a little bit later on. These are pastel vanillas. These guys definitely don't look like much. They kind of just look like normal pastels almost to me, but it's when you start making that super vanilla stuff and when you start mixing it with things like fires that it looks really nice. I will say this about the chocolate and vanilla stuff, very subtle morphs. I've dealt with about 5 animals of each gene, and I gotta say, they feed phenomenally. They eat so well. Anything vanilla I have to watch out basically when I open that tub because they're coming out of the tub. They want to eat. And pretty much same thing with the chocolates. This is a pastel champagne female here. She often gets shy. She's a little weird. I don't really want to comment on the champagne stuff. This is the only one we have. But they're kind of weird. I'll just leave it at that. But she didn't take today. And I decided to give it to the pinstripe here. Pinstripe head albino male. There you go. He took. I'll have to check tomorrow and make sure he ate though. He tends to grab wrap and then leave it. So I'll have to check for that tomorrow. And this is one of my favorite snakes. This is a pastel ivory, which is basically a pastel super yellow belly. Now you guys of course don't see it very well on my camera, but the yellow orangey stripe on her back is just incredible. This is a really good looking snake right here. There you can see it a little bit more. The neck stripe is really insane. And you know, again, anything with yellow belly in it, especially when it's an ivory and it's female, that's like worth its weight in gold basically. Another yellow belly thing. This is a genetic stripe yellow belly, and it looks pretty cool in my opinion. Doesn't look too great on camera, but the blushing down its sides are pretty insane. And I forgot to mention our spark, which by the way guys, if you don't know what a spark is, when you put it with yellow belly it makes pumas, is possible het G stripe. So imagine if he proves out and we breed him to her. That could make for a very cool animal. This is a pastel genetic stripe male. We just kind of got this guy as a package with some of our other genetic stripe stuff. We're not really going to breed that guy into anything. He's actually available if anybody's interested in buying him. And this is probably my favorite ball python we have. This is a super chocolate male. And he is mean as hell. You see, he just wanted to attack me there. Now he realizes it's food. He's going to grab it. He's going to eat it. And that's basically the end of the video, guys. Take care.